Hello everyone, welcome to this special episode of Big Fan Secret Kitchen. Today we're gonna talk about Chinese New Year. We will learn the traditions there, and also I will introduce you one traditional Chinese New Year dish, upside down steamed pork belly. Now let's talk about ingredients. First, you need pork belly. The pork belly, we need it in one piece with the skin. To cook this, we need anise and a little bit Sichuan pepper. If you don't have it, that's fine. Next one, we will need potatoes, salt, soy sauce, dark soy sauce for the color, and cooking wine. If you don't have the Chinese cooking wine, you can use a little bit of white wine too, and sugar. First, we need to prepare the pork belly. We need to cut it into half. So the pork belly we prefer for this dish should look like this. One layer of the lean meat, one layer of the fat, another layer of the lean meat and fat and the skin. So this will give you the mixed texture without tasting too oily or too lean. Next, we need to cook the meat. You will need a big pot like this. First, let's fill it with cold water. Let's turn the stove to high and then put the pork belly into the cold water. Add the anise and Sichuan pepper in it. Also a little bit cooking wine. Let's bring the water to a boil and cook until the meat is tender. While the meat is cooking, let me give you a brief introduction of Spring Festival. Spring Festival is the very last day of the lunar year, kind of like the New Year Eve here. And Chinese New Year is the very first day of the Lunar New Year. It's like the New Year Day here, January 1st. Since we have this celebration based on the lunar calendar, so the Chinese New Year Spring Festival lands on different days each year. So this year in 2021, it lands on February the 12th. In Chinese culture, we have 12 animals in a cycle to represent each year. And this year, 2021, is the year of ox. So the ox in Chinese culture represents hardworking and humble. So in this new year, we encourage everybody to be hardworking at their work and be humble in life. The celebration of Chinese New Year can last for many days. Let's talk more about the timeline here. 7 days before Chinese New Year, we have a small festival. We call it 小年. Literally means small spring festival. So start from that day, it means the new year is coming. Everybody start to prepare for this whole celebration. What we do on that day, we will start to clean the house, we start to get a new haircut, we start to prepare the decorations at home, and also invite our families and friends come over to celebrate the small spring festival. Talking about decorations, Chinese people love red colors in Chinese New Year. You can see everything here is red. And also we have this paper cutting style decorations. We have it on the window, at the door, and you can see this character. Pronounced Fu, means blessing and happiness. You will see this character a lot during spring festivals because everybody wants blessing in the new year. And these four little characters here, pronounced 年年有余, means every year may you have extra, may you have extra fortune. And the yu here, pronounced same as the fish in China. So fish is also very important in our Spring Festival. It will be the last dish we served at the New Year dinner. For the new generations, we have a new ways to decorate our home. Kind of like Christmas tree decoration. We're using the red decorative paper to write our New Year wish on it and hang it up on a tree. Normally, it's not going to be a palm tree. It's going to be a tiny orange tree on the countertop, or somebody just use Christmas tree. Let's have a look at my New Year wishes. This one here, pronounced as Fu, means blessing and happy, same as this one. This is just another way to write it, kind of like a ox head there. And this one I have the English on top of it, means Happy New Year, because the ox in Chinese pronounced new, kind of like the English new, so I put it all together, Happy New Year. And next one is this one, 新年快乐, literally means Happy New Year, and this is the most common way that people greeting each other during the Spring Festival. Because China is so big, different provinces have their different traditions. Where I'm from, the northeast of China, we normally eat dumplings during small spring festivals and spring festivals. And along with the dumplings, we will prepare multiple dishes like meat, vegetables, cold dish, appetizers, and dessert along with it. Today, the dish we're cooking is normally one of them. 10 to 15 minutes after the water was boiling, your meat is done. Now, you need to get something sharp from your kitchen. It can be a toothpick, ice pick, anything sharp to poke into the skin of the pork. Here, you will need to poke a lot of holes on the skin, so later on, you will have evenly color on the skin. After poking the holes, you will need this dark soy sauce for the coloring. This dark soy sauce is different from the regular soy sauce because this one doesn't taste as salty as the other one, but it gives very rich flavor. And then you can use your hand evenly, give this meat a massage, let the color go inside to the holes that you just poked. Doing this will give your meat a very pretty color afterwards. Next, let's dip each side of the meat into the soy sauce, give it some color, and flip it over, let the skin soaked in the soy sauce for 5 minutes for better color. While the meat is soaking, let's peel some potatoes. Now let's cut the potatoes into slices. The thickness of the potato can be like this, as long as it's similar to the thickness of the meat that you're gonna cut, it's fine. Now it's time to fry the potatoes. Let's turn on the stove, add some oil, and wait it to be heated. Wait until you can see a little bit smoke there. It's time for the potatoes. Fry it until both sides turn brown, and it's time to take it out. At the day of Spring Festival, people get up very early to put on their new clothes, to make themselves look pretty, and they will start to last time cleaning their home, because after the new year, within several days, you're not allowed to clean your house. If you swept the floor, let's say, it will consider you swept the new year fortune away. And also, a lot of people will start to prepare the most important meal of the year. In Chinese, we call it 年夜饭. It literally means New Year dinner. Between small spring festivals and spring festivals, in these 7 days, you probably need a really good haircut. Why? Because in Chinese tradition, it will bring your uncle bad luck if you cut your hair within a month after Chinese New Year. So at the night of Spring Festival, that's when the most important dinner happens. While we're having the dinner, we will watch the Chinese New Year Gala on TV. That's the most popular gala in a year that everybody will watch it with their family. After the New Year dinner is normally the TV and chatting time. Everybody is encouraged to stay up after midnight because similar to what we have here in the United States, that's the time the fireworks set up. The very next day is the first day of Lunar New Year. In that day, people will get up early, wear their new clothes, and go out to visit their family, friends, even neighbors, and will say 过年好 in Chinese basically means Happy New Year to each other. 15 days after that, there will be another festival coming. We call it Chinese Lantern Festival. That represents the end of the celebration of New Year. So the potato is done. Let's prepare the meat. Look at this color. That's the color we want. Next step, we'll use the paper towel to dry it up so it won't hurt you while you fry it later. Next step, we're going to use the salt to rub over the skin so when you fried it, so the oil won't splatter. Now let's go back to the stove. Use the leftover oil from the potato and turn the stove back on. Wait until it's hot. We can put the meat in it, but the skin first. And just be careful. Okay, during this cook process, this pot goes crazy a little bit and it might splatter a lot, so you better put a lid over it and don't hurt yourself. So when you see the skin look like this, it's done. So we take the meat out from the pot. We can see that the skin is nice and brown. Now let's let it sit for a little bit so you won't burn yourself. Let's make the juice. So the sauce we're making is where all the flavors come from. Since the potato we didn't add any seasoning in the potato, basically didn't add any saltness into the meat. So this is where all the flavor come from. We're gonna use the leftover dark soy sauce from the beginning. And we're gonna use the regular soy sauce. And next one, we're gonna use a little bit salt. Since this dish was supposed to taste salty and sweet, we may want a little bit more sugar in it. And then let's mix it. The reason why we're using such a big bowl because later on we're gonna put all the meat and potato inside of this and you have enough space to let them cover with the sauce evenly. So once you make this sauce a little bit saltier and a little bit sweeter than what you normally eat, and this is done. Next, let's cut the meat. So remember, when you cut the meat, make sure the thickness is similar to your potato. Now let's put the meat and potato into the sauce. I used 1 block of the pork belly this time. The other one, I'm just gonna put into the fridge and maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I can just cut it and cook it again. Now you need to make sure that every single meat and the potato have the sauce all over it. It will just give them more flavor. So if you have a lid of your container, you can just put it on and shake it. That might be faster. Well, the meat and potato already soaked for 5 to 10 minutes. I think it's flavorful enough. Let's put it into a bowl. Wash your hand and then let's put the meat and potato into the bowl. Make sure that the skin is at the bottom. And next is the potato. Right next to it. And another slice of meat, skin at the bottom. Potatoes. And the meat again at the bottom. So this line is ready and we need to fill both sides of it. Same way, one slice of meat and some potatoes. So now we can see the bowl is pretty full now. The reason why we're doing it because after steam it, we're gonna flip it upside down. So we need it as tight as we can. So when you flip it, it won't collapse. And we can use these little potato pieces to fill the corners, just to make it tighter. Once you have it in there nice and tight, just go ahead and put all the leftovers on top of it. And last, let's put the leftover juice over it. Now it's ready to go to the steam pot. If you don't have a steam pot, you can do it this way. Find a bigger pot and then use a smaller plate, turn it upside down, put it at the bottom of the pot, fill it with water and don't go over the plate. Next, you want to put the meat on top of the plate. So the water is not touching your meat and you can still have the steam coming out. Now let's move it to the stove. Turn the stove on high and cover it. Steam it for 30 minutes and it will be ready. While it's cooking, let's talk more about Spring Festival. As you all know that Spring Festival is for family reunion. That's the time you come back from where you work, back to your family, or at the Chinese New Year Day, you will go to visit your other relatives and friends in your hometown. So at that time, you're supposed to bring some New Year gift to them. As I mentioned in last video in the Asian grocery store, there are plenty of the gift pack that you can choose. And this time, I got one. So this gift pack is basically snacks pack. That's what all children dreams about. I remember when I was little, I really want that my relatives come to my house and bring this big package so me and my sister, we can enjoy it. Even though I'm not a kid anymore, but I still love this so much. Every time when I see this in a grocery store during spring festivals, I just want to get one. Let's have a look inside. So it's pretty full and we can see there's a lot of snacks in it. And what's this? This is the black rice crispy. Oh, this is my favorite. I can eat this whole pack in one day. And these are made of rice and really crispy. I love it. What else in it? So, oh, this one is the fruit juice and jelly. This tastes really good, especially after you put it in the fridge. And then it tastes fantastic. Let's see what else. Oh, this is the fruit jelly too. You can see from this side there's real fruit in it. And this is my favorite too. Oh, one last thing. Oh, this is another Rice Krispie. These are not the sweet ones we have in the United States. Those taste a little bit salty and have a little sprinkle sweetness on top of it. Tastes really good. So here's the brand of this, and the brand name is Wang Wang, means may you be luckier next year. And so this is a very festival name, and they have a lot of different type of snacks, candies for the spring festivals and many other holidays. So I really recommend you to try it. And another very interesting tradition during spring festivals, which kids love the most, happens at the very first morning of the new year. On that morning, kids were supposed to get up early and dress nicely, go to the elders in the family, like your grandparents, your parents, uncle, aunts, and greeting them and say, 新年快乐 means Happy New Year. And then you get this. The red envelopes. Guess what's inside it? Ta-da! It's money. We call it 压岁钱, and you can consider as gift money, lucky money. So this is the great wishes from your parents, from the elder in the family, to may you stay young forever. So now is the upside down part. We need a bigger plate and go over on top of the bowl like this. And now we're gonna flip it over, and I hope I can make it. One, two, three. Oh, yay. Now we need to take it apart. And this is your upside down steamed pork belly. I decorate with some vegetables here, make it more colorful. If you have some white sesame, you can sprinkle a little bit on top of it, just make it more pretty. And let me have a try. It tastes really good. This recipe is from my grandma, and this one tastes exactly like what I had when I was a little kid. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned some of the traditions for Chinese New Year, and don't forget to like and subscribe our channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Now let's take the bowl away.